Getting a shot of Ginger about to yawn. Go on. Go on.
About to yawn?
He looks like he's about to yawn through the viewfinder.
Jesus, that's sweet when you go to bed.
Yeah.
Newborn generation of male cat. Got it sus, Ginger. Totally unmacho. Have you ever noticed?
That he's unmacho.
Yeah. Much less territorially orientated than, you know, your average male cat.
This film is a journey back in time to a landscape of largely forgotten moments. Before the internet and mobile phones, before 9/11, before the ice caps melted. To a previous century, the 1990s. What you're about to see was captured on a video format that time has rendered obsolete. People who have passed away, places that no longer exist. Scenes, sometimes entire interviews that I'd forgotten I'd filmed. A collective memory finally released from its battered shoebox. Defining moments from the past to inform, entertain and hopefully inspire the present.
Can you turn the lights on, please, Mr. Bus Driver?
Like many people, I found myself burnt out and homeless after the eviction of Claremont Road. So, after weeks of couch surfing and drifting about,
Have you got any rainbow people in the house?
I finally picked up a camera once again and filmed a trip down to Stonehenge on VE Day.
Do you know where we're going, Shane?
Well, there's a label on the left, is it possible?
Well, yeah. What's all about possible?
This lay-by on the left, is it, Andy?
We're missing it. What's going on?
Oh, I'm so excited. I think I'm going to wee myself.
Okay, so start.
Shall I let her off, Steve? No, not yet. Someone?
Oh, can you grab some more gear? There's loads of stuff to come over.
Well, send it over, ferry it over.
Oh, is this a rubbish bin in here?
Don't know, no idea.
Wildway, come here!
After so many months of protest, everyone deserved this. A day for peace and friendship. Usually by now, English Heritage would have summoned up the police. But no one wanted to see the sight of riot cops truncheoning people at Stonehenge on VE Day.
Have gathered with the most peaceful of intentions. Or something. To honour the brave men and women who fought and died to keep this. To keep this precious, beautiful, before tarmac island. From a totalitarian police state.
I'll read that line again. Go on.
This is the land they died for, and Stonehenge is the jewel in the landscape. The jewel that for millennia served as a freely accessible meeting ground. For all who wish to engage in intertribal dialogue, seasonal celebration, and thanksgiving for the then bountiful organic harvest of the land. So we ask that all citizens of the Fourth Reich respect on this most special day when we remember all who thought this great land and her once upon a time freedoms worthy of the ultimate sacrifice. They stopped the Criminal Justice Act becoming law in German 50 years earlier. Yeah. And we should respect that. And if anyone asks, it was all organised by Paddington Bear.
The first summer hand fasting ceremony at the Stones for 11 years.
Let no man, no woman stand between them.
I am a man who would stand between them. There is no man on this planet.
Respect, brother, have a bit of respect. You are son. Justify your words.
Me justify my words?
No, we haven't got all day.
Who's talking? Are you, hey, do you know my mind?
No, but
Can
I
you
know
speak
I
for
haven't
me?
got all day, and these people haven't got all day.
Yeah, man. If you knew the ways of God, you'd shut right up.
No, when God, hey.
The heckler was finally persuaded to leave.
I give to you the blessing of the mother. I give you her fertility and her joy, her love. And as the seasons grow, may your love grow. You are now one. Leave this place as one. One love, one heart.
The police kept a low profile throughout the day. English heritage let in the tourists, and they could actually walk amongst the stones and touch them. They seemed to stay for longer, lapping up the atmosphere, mingling, and rather than an empty, distant monument, they had this huge celebration of life.
Catch up.
It was off to Parliament Hill for a Sow the Seeds demonstration. Each balloon contained a pinch of hemp seeds. Definitely a stoner idea, but with revolutionary implications for the planet.
Testing, testing.
Hemp having scores of amazing applications in paper, textiles, oil and pharmaceuticals. The state and big business have been doing a number on it for years.
Rollie, isn't it? The seed.
Vilifying it.
I hope so.
Spreading lies and misinformation. Hemel Hempstead was named after it. The original American Constitution was written on hemp paper.
And then the balloons will shoot off that way. So if everybody wants to come and grab a balloon,
The scissors
but
somewhere.
the scissors
on
you
the
don't
floor.
want to take too much string, otherwise they may not fly so well.
Is there a pair of scissors over there?
It's ideal planting conditions. A few little speech checks. As you're probably aware, the decriminalisation, the ideas against prohibition have been around in the Green Party for about 18 years now. So to start things off today, I'd like to welcome the male spokesperson for the Green Party, all the way from Somerset. A big hand for David Taylor.
Lovely to see you, everybody. Free the weed. There is one plant in this country that you're not allowed to grow. There is one plant in this country that is a criminal. Yet it is the one plant that could give the human race more than any other plant. It's hemp. cannabis. Free the weed. It's a very versatile crop. Produces paper, clothes, rope, fuel, medicine, the list goes on. It is such an important plant that in Elizabethan times it was illegal not to grow it. Free the weed. Prohibition of cannabis is an intensely political issue. The reason it was made illegal was precisely because it provided such competition to those who wanted to produce oil, cotton and so forth. And it was made illegal as a result of a conspiracy between the Hearst Corporation, DuPont, J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI, because the plant was too good and too useful. Free the weed.
Thank you very much, David Taylor, the male spokesperson for the Green Party. Nicely. So we've set up this Green Party drugs group and introduced you now Steve Peake, who's within and without the drugs group, just to say a few words about what we're trying to do today. Steve Peake.
Woo! Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming, and I'd like to thank particularly Nigel from Dodgy, who's been a real great help during the course of this week. I'd also like to thank Zion Train, who are supporting us. They're on tour at the moment, and at every single gig they're doing, they're supporting the campaign. Many thanks to them. Also to the Shaman, many thanks to them as well. Well, it's been a great success today, and I'm very confident the campaign is going to get a huge boost, and that up and down the country, people are going to start talking about these issues. It's very important that they get discussed in the lead up to the general election in a rational and a mature way. No more of this tabloid hysteria. It's a serious issue and it's got to be taken seriously. Now, as far as today is concerned, we're going to be doing the balloon launch after a Rastafarian blessing from Nandor, and then we're going to be doing a bit of a sowing. We've got loads of seeds with us today. As far as the legality, we've had a few questions about whether what we're doing is illegal or not. Possession of the seeds is legal. Sowing the seeds is legal. It's the cultivation that is illegal, which is, of course, the absurdity that we're trying to highlight today. We're going to leave it to Mother Nature to do the cultivating for us, and if the police want to interview her, well, that's their issue.
Right, one final little bit. A lot of it has been said about the fact that politicians are afraid to speak about cannabis. That's for the fact that for 60, 70 years they've bought votes on lies. The thing is, most politicians will lie for protected interests. No more so true in the case of cannabis. If cannabis was to be legalised, pharmaceutical companies would stand to lose millions. And when you start thinking about all the other uses of cannabis, for making paper, numerous industrial processes, people will start realising, once they know the information about hemp, that we don't need to be destroying rainforests, we don't need to be polluting this atmosphere. This one plant can provide all of those things that we need. This thing we can live fully sustainably off, yet it is prohibited. That is the whole crux of the matter, that something so brilliant, this gift from nature, is prohibited. To that end, what I've done is set up a Cannabis Hemp Information Club, because I think it's information dissemination is what is going to change the way people think. What I did last year, I did this cannabis conference. I opened a cannabis museum last April in London. We're going to carry on doing another cannabis conference this year. And on September the 28th, myself and Howard Marks are going to be sharing a spliff by the willow tree where the Magna Carta was signed, and then we will be handing ourselves in with as many people as we can, admitting the fact that we smoke cannabis. We're doing nothing wrong, the law is wrong, and the law has got to change. And the way that's going to be done is raising public awareness about this issue, to free the weed.
With these seeds that rise up in these balloons, may they rise up like our chants and prayers and spread to the furthest corners of the skies and beyond. And when they return to earth, may they return as the blessings of the Almighty on I. And each seed, may it sprout, grow into a bush, and in its ripening, spread forth 1,000-fold more seeds. And in this way, may righteousness, truth, love, and justice reign upon the planet. Amen. Rastafari.
They got too many split. You need to split them up, I think. we got any?
Why aren't they flying away?
Oh no! Enough have gone though.
Yeah.
Symbolic.
It's not good at all. Wait for the next thing. Have we got any scissors?
I'll give you a ring, yeah, bring them over, man. We'll see.
Oh, no, it's really tight.
Collect them up! Collect them up!
Take the balloons up!
Steve, we'll wait for another wind.
Take two.
In June 1995, with hundreds of homes and gardens then destroyed to make way for the M11 Link Road, it all came down to the very last house on Phillybrook Road, called Munstonia, after the Munsters.
We've been here 11 weeks now. We've had this house for 11 weeks, and we've built the tower and barricaded it, put lock-ons in it, and we're expecting a massive eviction any minute now. Somebody came along unexpected one afternoon and found that there was a note on the door saying guard number 9. He'd gone to make a phone call. So thanks $500,000 to guard number 9.
Damon Albarn from Blur grew up opposite. There's a special plaque now to mark the spot, and a sad song called Hollow Pens.
I felt the percussion. The green man had gone. Half my road was now a motorway. 1991.
This house was one of the 2 original manor houses in the street, and they were built about 1880s. And they're very individual houses. A lot of the castings around the window, iron castings at the top around the windows, were made for the house. I mean, this is a beautiful house. This is, it's a stunning house. The rest of the road grew up around it. It's sort of quite fitting. This is the very last one. One of the first on the route, and one of the last. We've got a drawbridge and a moat as well outside. It's probably the only working drawbridge and moat this side of the Tower of London, actually.
And what are your feelings at the moment about, well, personally, what's going on in your head at the moment?
I'm really pleased, actually. I'm really pleased to see all these amazing people here. It's a beautiful day. It just feels very, very good. It feels like we can have a really good, peaceful action here, and we can make a really good statement.
And looking back over the last 18 months, how do you feel about the way it's gone in terms of sort of defending?
Amazingly. I think it's a time of living legends. I mean, I've certainly seen a few whizzing around me, but I think it's inspired me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you can let it, the weight on it.
Squeeze through there, you're going to get wet. Come on, the police are coming.
They're not going to come in immediately. Just take your time.
Take your time, take your time. Easy. Right. All the way up now. All the way up. Up shoulders. Let's get the door.
Out the stairs!
Don't tell me.
Out. No, we're going to have to get up there, aren't we?
Okay. Let's get the chains round and now into the post. Get the chain at the corner. Hey, bit at a time, chain. Get up the top. Cross, up top. There, cross. And twist them. Put some nails in. And get some fucking nails in there. Here we go, geezers. One nails. Nails, yeah. There we go. Get one in there, in the corner post, in the right in the wood, in the post. In the post. Door. That's go for the wood. Down into the door. 6-inch ones. That's it.
John's used it up and fucking up, hasn't he? Is there a couple of
Right, let's do this now.
So, what's been the most valuable aspect of the campaign to you?
I suppose the community that you're in, the social environment that you're in, really, that's really important as well. Because not only are you protesting, but you're also learning. Everybody's learning. We're living together, learning how to organise society, how to organise. This is a society in its own right, the campaign, and that's quite fundamental as well. People don't know how to relate to each other and how to associate with each other and how to organise each other on a grassroots level. You know, as far as community politics is concerned. You know, and that to me has been, well, you can't put a value on it really. It's like we've got our own community, our own family, and that's the most important thing to me.
Nelly, what's happening?
We're just going to get a little wedge to fit in the back of this, and then we're here for the night, I think.
Are the police outside?
Yeah. Yeah, loads of TSG, sheriffs, men.
That's enough security guards out there.
Right.
There's Robin Hood.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you want to get everything else to stop yourself?
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know about putting it on that now, because
yeah, just put it in there, man. Did you see who picked up the clubhouse?
Kate's been arrested.
Who? Kate.
Which Kate?
Who's got the club hammer? Any hammer?
No,
Club
there's a brick
hammer.
here, it's got a fucking club. That's what we're...
Is there any hammers at all, right?
Is that frame holding out, alright?
Yeah.
That's good.
Fucking missed it about 5 times there.
They're coming for the windows on your level. They've got ladders. Bang them back.
Come on. But they say it's easy to get upstairs. It's just fucking here, look, up this bit.
What?
Keith, come on, man, let's go, yeah?
We just pull it up, John, and we'll do it here, yeah? Last person can hook it with a leg or something, I reckon.
Come on, John, let's go, because they're up there with the ladders, man.
John, look.
Oi, where are they with the ladders? Where are they with the ladders? Excuse me, up the top. Where are they with the ladders? The front. Next level down, yeah? Oi, Keith. Keith. Keith, you're at the front, coming through the window on your level.
They on your level,
Yeah. Yeah. Come. Fuckers. Things are getting pretty hectic.
And the door,
Okay, do you want to pass anything up, mate?
God, it smells really weird.
You got this to go down.
That's that piss in that other room, man, in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's to be knocked down, if you know what I mean. I'm just pissing about for that.
Right, mate. Who's the last person, Daniel?
Yeah, they're coming through that window down there.
This one in the front.
Yeah.
Right against that. It's about 6 inches.
Where's that button?
It's about 7 inches right against that, yeah? Right, it's about 8 or 9 inches more because of the board. Closer?
Yeah.
Right, this is precision.
Your name's not down, you're not coming in! I want to be a
Keith, how's it going, mate?
Very well, very well. It was a really tight entrance. We came in fairly quickly and we had one person who wanted to get back in the door. And we dropped the drawbridge up as they came through the door. It was quite legendary. And a bit sort of, it's quite a bit of a sweaty time working back through. But it's going brilliantly. It's a lovely day, good turnout. It's looking really, really good indeed. Took them an hour to get through the front door.
So you think it's going to be fluffy as hell today?
Yeah, it's got to be, yeah. I mean, that's the way, this is the only way to take it forward, really.
I don't know how many times the press said the last stand, last-ditch attempt. They were saying that 2 years ago, and, time and time again. The Department of Transport, when they cut down a sweet chestnut tree in December '93, they said, they thought that they'd cut down the symbol of the campaign, they'd cut down the campaign that went with it. They were wrong. They cut us down one stone here again. They were wrong again. They thought third time lucky at Claremont Road, and we're still here, So I don't know. I wouldn't rule out that the campaign could get back into something like Operation Roadblock and a kind of proactive sort of getting back on the work sites.
No one else should
I want to be like common people. I want to live like common people. What lighter? Bondage gear.
Come through the fucking wall, we give up with the door.
Yeah, they've come through the wall.
Sit on fences waiting like that poetry changes crap by mine. One with factors lace a bit touching my face is back to shine. Quick to dark and siren warning of the horns is now for drill. Happens where they wish me straight through, wait for a big shot then I'll kill.
I don't think they've got enough police for you.
Where these gentlemen with fresh light come?
No, not yet.
No, they should stay. I wonder why you want to get rid of them first.
Someone take that! There's coffee getting spilled. It's just coffee. It's the man night now. It's just coffee, isn't it? It's spilled.
We're not what the order needs, selfless people. I ran from the revolution, say, ran from the revolution, say, ran from the revolution, say.
So, what do you think of it so far?
I think it's been great fun. It's been one of the best evictions. Most relaxed and enjoyable.
It's a bit warmer than Claremont Road.
Sorry?
A bit warmer than Claremont Road.
So looking crazy. Yeah. Remember the photograph of me on Claremont Road looking really miserable on the roof?
Yeah.
You're happy now? I'm happy. My nose is burning.
You want to choose one to go down?
No, give it a miss this time.
You sure?
Yeah, dropping it straight down.
No, lower him. Don't want to drop him.
Well,
nobody's coming this way. They get to the moonlight over time. Well, take it back the other way every time then.
For me personally, it's sort of, you know, onto sort of widening the issues beyond the ranty road stuff to sort of move the debate on into anti-car stuff. And that's where Reclaim the Streets fits in.
There have been quite a few mild summers and lovely summers and mild winters of late, resulting in water shortages of varying degrees. But this year, 1995, as they say, takes the biscuit. The position with the water is now critical, and virtually the whole of West End Village is now exposed again after 30 plus years of being underwater. This is an incredible experience, really. Rather awe-inspiring experience to come and see it all again.
In 1995 I began gathering footage of potential climate impacts, covering the Yorkshire drought and the lost village of West End, submerged in 1961 to make way for a reservoir on the outskirts of Leeds. That's decades of cover-up, ridicule and misinformation about climate change by the oil industry and successive UK governments. The truth, like this submerged village, is only now being properly revealed.
Well, this may sound like melodrama, but I promise everybody watching that it's not. In the few minutes since the last photos were taken, I have been foolish and very nearly lost my life by going too near what appeared to be firm ground at the edge of the brook. In no time at all, up to the knees, Wellington's gone in, rapidly swallowing me up mud. Had to scream for help, and eventually people came, and I was only just got out, only just. A very, very nasty experience. All clothing totally ruined. Of course that doesn't matter, and the Wellington lost in the mud forever, but at least we're still here. Just shows you how very easily you can be careless and come badly unstuck. Anyway, see if we can finish the film now before we go home and salvage what's left of the clothing.
1, 2, 3, up! Okay, number one's in the middle.
Yards of fencing came down at Glastonbury 95 and loads of people busted into the healing field. But this is all I managed to film of the drama. I did manage to film a row in Babylon.
I understand you've earned 10 grand on this stall so far, mate, so don't give it out, alright? Listen, you don't have to give it any of your blag, your banter, right? Because I ain't here to listen to it, and neither is she, right? She's here with an injunction. You've got 10 grand here.
I haven't got any money.
No, of course you haven't. Excuse me, I've warned you 3 times. You're doing it in this stall. I really mean it, don't film it.
You always be a fucking lot more than you
Don't push it, mate.
You're that, Julian.
Seriously, don't push it.
On the way back, we visited Stonehenge. Swampy was there. the vibe was very different to VE Day.
Don't hit me! Peaceful protester. I'm protesting against my rights to be here as a citizen of Great Britain. And these are my stones. I fought 11 years of oppression by the police state, by criminal heritage. Criminal, not in fucking English. I want English. What about the Welsh and the Scottish? Terrible.
Mike, one arm, Mike. You having trouble, Mike? I'll give it to you. Mike.
No, I want me money. I want me money. I want me money, mate. What's happened? The money's fell out on the way up there. They dragged me to the floor.
Right, you're going to get up and walk. Hang on. Come up with me.
I can't.
Then we'll get the white and I'll round it for a second. Come on, swear on them. Come on, let's get out first, yeah? Come with me.
I'll wait, I'll jump over. Good lad, go for it. I'll take 2 minutes. I want me money, mate. I'll swear I'll look for it for you. How's that? I've got one of the best. 11 years for this! 11 years for this! Hey! This used to be yours! Oh, you hurt me. I want me fucking money, do you not understand? You won't get it in a minute because you're fucking telling lies like you always do. I want me money. You won't mind me on me. You're not mine, mate, because you're taking away our fucking heritage. Don't call me yours. Get off! Come on! Fuck off! Fuck off! 11 fucking years for this! Hey! 11 years, you! And you! I want 11 years for this! Hey! I got fucking 73 that I left in my pocket. The security guard pulled me over. I fell on the floor. I lost my money. I want it back.
Listen to me.
Yeah, mate. No, he's kept me to fuck. He's kept me to fuck. Where's my money? Where's my fucking money? I want me fucking money. Hold on, don't put your hand around my throat. Put your hand around my throat. Oh, here we go. It's the handcuffs now. Fucking hell. What's the handcuffs for now? I just want me fucking money. Don't handcuffs me. Fucking on peaceful fucking protest against fucking reds. Yeah, what's happened to you? Just please stand up. I'm not fucking. Please stand up. I'm saying I'm very hurt and I don't need this. I'm very hurt and I want to go to hospital.
Shut the camera up, please, mate.
To go to the hospital.
You can't stop me. You can throw me out, but you can't stop me filming.
Get back with the video.
Can you turn it off, please? Yeah, so what was all that about?
Well, I think people tried to get over to go in there and then they were dragged out again. So the police seem to have got really heavy about it and started dragging them out. You know, there's all security guards all over the place. It just seems wrong. It's a national heritage. It's surrounded by police and heavy security guards who all look like, you know, they've just come out of prison or something.
Dragging them off.
So, you know, what's the point of having the place? It's not free for people to come to.
Excuse me?
I'm sure.
Magic.
Very nice.
One exhibition.
I'm struggling, dear. I'm struggling.
Do it, there. Come on, there's hundreds of them. This isn't all I've got, there's a whole bag of them. But there's one old Scottish Union badge as well, I found. I'll show you. Really quite sweet, but there it is. It's quite sweet, isn't it? Yeah. Oh. Julian, magic, I didn't see you come in.
Oh, I just arrived.
He's the man that knows the Clash. I said the Clash might not be coming, but somebody who knows the movie.
Have you? Probably.
What did Joe Strummer say when you phoned him up?
Something like that.
Okay, that's the message.
Where are you? I was living just for loving good from you. Susie, you used to lay me down, but the rain wind pulled me through the town.
The funding for this operation actually came from from William Hill, who paid me some money for betting on the weather recently, and it was enough money to get this going. But nevertheless, we do want to get some money back and also gain money for current struggles. So what we're saying is, we'll have a collection. Any money that comes in, half of that will be shared out straight away to all the groups here.
The idea behind this exhibition and video show and discussion is to celebrate the big struggles that happened 20 years ago and to support the current struggles on housing and squatting and obviously oppose the Criminal Justice Act. It came about because me and some others remembered how important these events were to us 20 years ago, and we think that there's a lot of lessons in these struggles which can be applied today. So we're holding this exhibition and video show, and we'll have discussions, and we'll do what we can to support existing struggles.
There's a kind of provisional programme here so far as it goes, but you know, time never works right with squatters, as you know. So this is item 1, introduction from organisers and also groups. So just in a second, I'd suggest groups here maybe say anything they want to about what they hear, what they want to get out of this and so on. Then we show a few videos of Camden, and then I was thinking of saying a few words about Elgin Avenue around those times, what happened then, maybe discussion there. Also got some exciting Dutch video with tanks in. Debbie here.
And you're on it.
No, I'm not. It's not.
You are on it, mate.
No, it's not. Anyway, James doesn't want ones with me.
You got all this bump phase now.
Well, I wasn't going
to get it out, mate. It's like the bleeding videos. You rub it. You rub it the old legs off a donkey here.
Fine. Yeah. GLC said that. What happened to that?
There's a little flat bit outside one of the windows of blokes there was smoking dope. And about 2 o'clock in the morning, old Bill knocked the door down and come in and search the place. And he came up to me, I was up at the top, and we had a quiet, I said, well, all right, mate.
Quiet little word.
And they done the other 2. And me, I was respectful, I was in pyjamas and a dressing gown.
Well, you look respectable,
Eric. And I said, well, when they finished, I said, that's a bloody great door on Elgin Avenue, number 3. Right now. And they knocked it off its hinges. That's right, I can't get this up on my own, mate. I'll give us a cut to the old bill, put the door back.
It's 25 to 9. We've held for 35 minutes. Not bad for a Monday morning. There is. There's piggy wigs down on the ground.
Raid in Elgin Avenue. They said they were looking for IRA bank robbers.
Into an empty house down in Walthamstow. Others who play rent, you know, but the council told me no. Now it's them to play the band stand at my door. They ain't got no home in this world anymore.
What is a squatter?
I can see the marks on his back and it's just like here there.
paying rent, but it's supposed to live. £50 a week, I think it's a lot of cash to give. There's quite a little place sitting back down on the walls. Ain't got no home in this world anymore. Houses they go empty, so why should I pay? It only makes me sick, Lord, when I hear you say, like you took me down and leave it empty as before. Ain't got no home in this world anymore. From sea to sea, $100,000, let's claim it same as me. 100,000 years to see 100,000 more. Ain't got no home in this world anymore.
The distressing situation on the official side is that people have to be treated in this way, and that we get forced into the position whereby we have to do this.
You feel it important?
Oh yes, oh yes. And one hates to be forced into this sort of situation. This is not pleasant, this is ugly.
And what about the people side of the world?
They have a case as well, no question.
May 1995 saw the first Reclaim the Streets party in Camden. A descendant of earlier Stop the City protests. RTS battered the dominant car culture, the source of all the road building madness that had hit communities and habitat throughout the UK.
We chose Camden because at weekend it's Camden Market, so there's loads of people there, loads of pedestrians, but at the same time there's so much traffic, so many cars that it's almost impossible to cross the road sometimes. As the tube arrived in Camden, 2 cars that we brought were crashed in the high street, and then everybody piled in and trashed the cars, basically, so that they couldn't be moved away.
We're headed after them! Car space! Not the car space! Car space! Car space!
Anybody got a pen
that's what I meant to say.
With every breath you take.
Hey! Andy!
We do question the car, but we use it as a launching pad to question the whole systematic imposition of a particular way of travelling that benefits the few, benefits large multinational corporations, oil companies, those who are selling us this idea of travel. It turns a street into a road, which you can oppose the street to the road. The street can be much more about community, about social interaction, about relating to other people, about these chance encounters and so on that can happen in a real street. The road is a means from getting to A to B, that's it. There's nothing else going on. The idea that the car gives you freedom, well, what is that freedom? What type of freedom is that? You have to question this freedom that's being sold.
It started with road protests in the country. Then demonstrations spread to the cities. Now even the government is asking us to leave our cars at home. Is the car set to become not a source of pride, but an object of shame? You're looking at the birth of a new phenomenon. Ordinary people have started fighting back against the car, and sometimes, quite literally, taking matters into their own hands. Earlier this year, pedestrians took their own form of direct action against cars parked illegally on the pavement in a North London street. For maximum impact, they invited along an environmentalist video crew.
I think we all have the same idea, and there are a large number of our own members here.
Okay. The people behind this were the Pedestrians Association, one of a number of protest groups trying to turn us against the car.
This is direct action that the police should be doing, not us. As you can see, they're not arresting us, so we're clearly not doing anything wrong.
The distraught car owners were given short shrift.
I can't believe you just allowed them to do that.
Police have stood by to prevent a breach of the peace. No damage is being caused to these vehicles.
How do you know? I mean...
Your argument is with these people.
I can't believe you just let them do that, mate. Can you say anything? Yes, I do, actually. I think I'm being victimised and all the drivers are being victimised.
I'm a very unlikely person to be getting involved in direct action, but it seems to me that having lived a very law-abiding life for a very long time and used all the rational and the sensible arguments I could think of, and we haven't yet really got anywhere, that one has to think of something else. And it is possible that because little people like me get involved, that people actually sit up and take notice.
is your very last chance to make a difference. Vote now.
Vote trashed house
Do
party.
we want to concrete this planet? We do have to ask ourselves in the end, has God done such a bad job, really?
And so we come to the end of 1995 and part 3 of the Lock and Rollie years. The protest movement growing and spreading. With thoughts of 1996 and the Third Battle of Newbury. See you in